Hey there, I'm Sophia, 29 years old. I'm truly thankful to have my own house, especially considering the current financial situation in America. But my husband doesn't see it the same way. He's often negative and proud, especially because I have a better job than him. He's working a low-paying job at the moment and feels pretty frustrated about it. His mom doesn't help either. She keeps putting him down, comparing him to other people and saying he should be more successful like them. She'll say things like, "Why don't we get a better job? Look at Peter. He's doing so well. He's becoming the CEO of his company, and you're just a manager at the local grocery store." It's embarrassing. Their conversations usually went like this, and it really got to my husband. It started to hurt his pride a lot. Eventually, he even fibbed and said he owned the house instead of me. "Mom, you don't have to say those things, it's not nice." I'd intervene. "I'll say what I want, he needs to do better," she'd retort. "Mom, please stop," he'd plead. He felt so bad about it that he pretended he bought the house himself. "Yeah, Mom, the house is in my name. I used my money to buy it. I'm a homeowner now," he'd claim. "Wow, that's great. So you'll get a better job now, right?" she'd inquire. "It's not that simple. I think I'm just disappointed. You spent so much time in university. You could have gotten a good job like your brother. How will you manage this big house with your low-paying job?" she'd continue. "Sophia will help, Mom," he'd reassure. "Fantastic. Now, as a grown man, you're depending on your wife to earn money and take care of the house." "It's disgusting," she'd conclude. Even though Jordy was lying about owning the house, I let him have that little victory so his mom would respect him more. But I realize now it was a big mistake. He's used it as an excuse to be rude and disrespectful towards me, trying to boost his ego and show off to his mom. He'd become extra aggressive and bossy whenever she was around. He'd act like he was in charge when really it was me who made our nice life possible in our beautiful house as his wife. I was kind and understanding, so I went along with his dominant behavior to avoid his mother making him feel bad about himself. But one day, things took a turn for the worse. "Sophia, come downstairs now. My mom's here and she wants food and a foot massage," he'd command. I hurried downstairs to find my mother-in-law and Jordy chatting. "Don't just stand there. Do what you're told," she'd instruct. "Of course, dear. It's good to see you're finally acting like a man," she'd remark. "I'm surprised Sophia puts up with it, considering she's the breadwinner," she'd comment. "Yes, but I'm the one who owns the house, so she has to respect me," he'd assert. I always rolled my eyes internally when he said this. It bothered me how entitled he acted, but I knew it was helping him rebuild his relationship with his mother. Jordy used to be really close with her, but ever since he dropped out of college for a get-rich-quick scheme that turned out to be a scam, the relationship suffered. She warned him against it, but he was too stubborn. When it failed, he was broke and too discouraged to go back to school. Since then, he's been trying to mend things with his mother, but she often ignores him and praises his more successful brother, Peter. Oh, I forgot to mention, Peter will be joining us for dinner. Come on, Sophia, let's go make some food. He must be tired after working all day at that big company. Fine. Taylor would often complain to me about how useless her son was whenever she had the chance. Sometimes Jordy overheard these talks. She didn't try to hide her gossiping, which just made her more angry and controlling to show that she was in charge of her household. You might be wondering why I put up with all of this for 8 months, but my patience wore thin when this happened. Taylor and I were in the kitchen, and she was once again talking about how disappointed she was in her son. "It's just so sad having a loser for a son." "Yeah, I'm sure it is. Honestly, you're stronger than me. I might have left him a long time ago if I were you." I never knew how to respond in these moments. I couldn't agree with her, but I also couldn't disagree, so I'd say something vague. A couple of hours passed, and Peter arrived, greeted by a bitter Geordie. Peter came into the kitchen to say hello. Hey, Sophia, hey, Mom. Oh, my dear, welcome. You've arrived just in time. Let's set the table. We need to talk to Geordie soon because this has gone too far. Talk to Geordie about what? Oh, dear, you'll find out soon. Our visit isn't just a friendly one. We're here to discuss something important with you both. I was confused and a little nervous. What could they want to talk about? After setting the table and saying grace, Taylor decided to reveal her true reason for coming over that day. I have something to say. Peter and I have been discussing this for a while now, and I think it's time we brought it up with you, Geordie. Yeah. Peter startet. You know your job right now isn't really enough to sustain Dump Sugar Company it. Peter, Geordie, what Peter means is that your job isn't good enough for you to keep this house. Both Geordie and I were shocked. We had been found out. You can't keep this house, Taylor continued. Well, not under your name, at least. Owning a house is a big responsibility, and we don't want to see you struggle to pay for it. So, I think it's best if your older brother takes over the ownership. It'll save you from any future problems. What? Geordie and I exclaimed at the same time. I'm sorry, but that's not happening, Geordie said firmly. Why not? We're trying to help you, Geordie. I'm not a kid anymore, Mom. I can handle owning a house. I don't need you treating me like some charity case. Oh, Geordie, don't be stubborn. Just go get the title deed. Let's discuss it and go over some details. Taylor and Peter didn't know that I was the real owner of the house. If they saw the title deed, it would cause chaos, and Geordie would be ostracized from his family. But I realized that the lie couldn't last much longer. I exchanged a glance with Geordie. Actually, Taylor, Peter, thanks for bringing this up. It's time we tell you the truth about everything. What truth? What's going on? Peter asked. Well, you see, we've been keeping something from you for a while now. Oh, yes, the truth is we can't find the title deed, Geordie suddenly blurted out. I was taken aback by Geordie's statement. I had hoped he would come clean about our secret, but instead, he chose to hide behind a lie. We must have misplaced it when we were moving stuff around in the attic. You know how cluttered it is up there with all our junk. It's probably somewhere in the mess. Come on, Geordie, you should know better than to lose such important documents, Peter scolded. Well, what do you expect from your little brother? He's pretty clueless. How he even managed to buy a house is beyond me, Taylor added. I'll search for it. Give me a couple of days to sort everything out. Fine, but this complicates things. We wanted to get this sorted quickly, but okay, find the papers and let us know as soon as you do. All right. Okay. While everyone else chatted and ate, I stayed silent. I couldn't believe Geordie's choice. This was his chance to be honest, but instead, he chose to add another lie. As they say, lies only make things worse the longer you keep them. After Taylor and Peter left, I decided to confront Geordie about his decision. Seriously, Ordi? What? I had to do it. There was no other option. There's always a choice, Geordie. You've been living this life for so long. The truth will come out eventually. I don't need you lecturing me, Sophia. I'm a grown man. Then act like it. Take responsibility for your actions. That's more manly than hiding behind a lie. You know what, Sophia? Stop nagging me. You act like you're the queen of everything, bossing me around. But guess what? You're nothing without me. Excuse me? Whose name is on the title deed? Because it's not yours. Well, maybe it should be. I can't believe you just said that to me. How dare you? Listen, you ungrateful, spoiled brat. I'm the man of this house, and I'll do what I want. I don't care if your name is on the title deed. This is my house, and I make the rules. Now, I'm going to get the title deed and change it to my name. It'll take about 5 to 6 weeks. I'll just tell Mom it took longer than expected. Now, go get the deed right now. I was speechless. Jordy had never spoken to me like that in our 4 years of marriage. His frustration and yearning for approval from his mother had led him to lash out at me. But that didn't excuse his behavior. Now, I'm someone who believes in getting even. Some call me petty, but I don't care, an eye for an eye. However, I knew that retaliating wouldn't solve anything. It would just escalate into a shouting match with even harsher words exchanged. So instead, I kept my cool and followed his orders. But in my mind, I was brewing a plan to teach him a lesson. I went to our home office and found the deed easily, being the responsible homeowner that I am. Instead of handing it over, I made a photocopy. Of course, it didn't look authentic, just a black and white version without the proper stamps and details. But I had a plan. I slipped the photocopy into Jordy's work bag and hid the real deed in my secret safe that he didn't know about. By the way, I put the deed in your work bag for tomorrow. I know you have to leave early, so I took care of it for you. You'll find it in there. Great. I'll need to contact the title company to start the process. The next day while I was at work, I got a call from Jordy. Hey babe, you put a photocopy of the title deed in my bag. I need the real one for the process. Oh, did I? My mistake. The guy here won't accept the photocopy, and since your name is on the deed, I think you should be involved in the process too. Unlike you, some of us have demanding jobs that require our full attention. Let's schedule a meeting to discuss this. What did you just say to me? Do you need my help or not? I knew I'd angered him, but I didn't care. I wasn't going to let him off the hook easily. He needed to learn a lesson. I was done being accommodating, so I allowed myself to be a little petty and throw some jabs, especially now when he needed my help more than ever. Yes, I need your help. Fine, I'll handle everything. Okay, bye. Things were getting tense between Jordy and me because I wasn't putting up with his rude behavior anymore. I was going to make sure he learned his lesson. A week passed, and Jordy was on a mission to find that title deed. He searched every nook and cranny of the office, even though he knew it wasn't there. He even braved the cluttered attic, despite knowing it was unlikely to be there. But desperate times call for desperate measures, right? Jordy spent the next week tirelessly searching that attic, even taking time off work to do so. Part of me felt guilty watching him search day after day in vain. But then I remembered all the hurtful things he'd said to me, and I didn't feel as sorry for him anymore. Jordy ignored calls from my mother-in-law and avoided Peter, knowing he'd missed his deadline by a long shot. Another week passed, and one evening Taylor and Peter both called me. Hello dear, how are you? I'm good, thanks. I hope you two are doing well too. Not really, dear. We've been trying to reach Jordy, but he's been ignoring our calls about the title deed. Oh, I know. He's been dodging your calls. Is everything all right? No, actually, he still hasn't found it. Oh dear, that's not good. Jordy needs to pull himself together. I've been telling him the same thing, but he's not listening to me. See, Peter, even Sophia has had enough. That's it. We'll come over tomorrow to help him search for the deed. Tell Jordy to take the day off. It's not like he's doing anything important anyway. Mom, I really think we should give him more time. I've waited long enough. Do you know how long these things take? The sooner we get it sorted, the better. Sophia, you make sure Jordy is ready for a long day of searching because I'm tired of waiting. Got it, Mom. But I didn't tell him. I wanted Jordy to face the music. He was already planning to take another day off work to rest, but instead, he was greeted by an angry mother and brother. So, you're sleeping instead of finding what needs to be found? Unbelievable. It's not a good look, bro. We took time off to help you, and you're just sleeping. What? What's happening? We told Sophia we'd be coming to help, but it seems like you didn't want us to. No. Sophia didn't say anything to me. Don't blame Sophia. She's been holding things together while you've been MIA. Why weren't you answering our calls? I was just busy. Busy? Sleeping, it seems. Anyways, get up. We need to start searching. Actually, no. You don't have to search. I have the deed. Everyone turned to look at me. I had been listening in the doorway, and I wasn't going to let Peter and Taylor waste their time looking for something unnecessary. I decided to come clean and embarrass Jordy for his behavior. Why didn't you tell me they were coming? You know I've been tired from searching. And why didn't you say you had the deed? Because there's something you all need to know. Don't you dare. The truth is, Jordy doesn't own this house. I do. What? My name is on the deed, not Jordy's. He's been lying to you all, and I went along with it because I loved him. But his behavior lately made me reconsider, so I decided you all needed to know the truth. Jordy, is this true? No, Mom, she's lying. Lying even after being caught. You're unbelievable. I handed the document to Taylor and Peter. It was the real deed, so they had no reason to doubt it. And there, clear as day, was my name as the owner of the house. You lied to us all this time, Jordy. Really, I don't even know what to say anymore. But I do, Gord. Jordy, you're pathetic. Don't try to deny it. You attacked me, saying I'm nothing without you when in reality, you're the one who needs me. Wiki said that? Yes, that day you proposed changing the name on the deed, he said a lot of hurtful things. You know I didn't mean it, Sophia. Why would you do this to me? You're my wife. Oh, I thought I was ungrateful. I thought I was a spoiled brat. Well, this is how ungrateful spoiled brats act, sweetie. Mom, let me explain. No, I've heard enough, Jordy. You've disappointed me for the last time. You kept up this facade to impress me. You've already let me down. It wouldn't be surprising if you weren't the true owner of this house, but to lie about it for almost a year and mistreat Sophia so much has left a bad taste in my mouth. I can't even look at you. Taylor got up and left, despite Jordy's desperate attempts to stop her. He begged and pleaded, but she was done. Peter, please, bro. I swear I wasn't trying to dash. Shut up. I should punch you right now for wasting Mom's time, for wasting my time, and for wasting Sophia's time, effort, love, and energy. This woman endured your foolishness for so long, and you still treated her like garbage. You're crazy. Save it. Don't bother contacting us for a while. Mom needs some time. Peter left too, leaving just Jordy and me in the house. It was my turn to speak my mind. You know what's funny? You call me ungrateful, but you're the one who's truly ungrateful. You're pathetic, and your behavior disgusts me. I'm glad your mother and brother finally saw your true colors. And yeah, you might be a man, but you're not the head of this household. If you want to stay here, you better start respecting me and pulling your weight. Otherwise, you can find somewhere else to be the man. Jordy looked distraught. In no time, he managed to ruin 3 important relationships. That's got to be some kind of record. He shouldn't have